everyone. Welcome to Tarot on Purpose. This is a special, impromptu, unanticipated reading inspired by Celtic Goddess Brigid, who made a surprise guest appearance in another reading that I did that I'll also be posting. Since she showed up in that reading unexpectedly, and it happens to be the time of the Imbolc festival where I am, I was inspired to do this separate reading. So I've collected some things that I think are relevant to the time of the reading and to the inspiration and spirit behind Brigid as the goddess of the eternal flame. Her statement from the Divine Feminine Oracle says, "I am an eternal flame, and each day my light grows brighter." So that's the inspiration for this reading. Not sure exactly what the message is going to be about, but what I've done is kind of done a little bit of research on the festival and her as a goddess. And I've chosen to unleash my fairy garden. This is something I received in a subscription box where this fairy garden has moss and lavender and a fairy tree house with a blue lace agate tree. Blue lace agate is a stone for clear communication, encouragement, and support. And then I've chosen to also use snow quartz here and fire agate because we are halfway between winter and spring. I know fire agate looks more like an autumn color, but fire agate is said to be the spiritual flame of absolute perfection in the little card that came with it when I got it. Inspires decisive action, creativity, and expression. And that very much to me spoke with the attitude that comes with Brigid. And the snow quartz representing winter helps with aligning ourselves with our higher selves, determining our role in life and within the universe, and bringing harmony. I'm also using natural honey scented beeswax candles to remind me that it's not far away for the time for the bees to come out and visit all the flowers. As I was looking into this, I thought it was appropriate for me to use the Silver Witchcraft Tarot because the creator of this deck aligned the number 3 cards in the deck with Imbolc and the idea of creativity and expression. So I've taken the 3s out, including the Empress here, and the 3s from each suit of the minor arcana. And then I shuffled and intuitively chose another card here that we'll see at the end. Not sure it's not going to be a 3 because I have all the 3s out, but we'll see what it is just to tie it all together. And then we'll have Oracle from the Blessed Bee Oracle and the Celtic Shaman pack to add to our message. Hopefully this will be an inspiring message for you midway here between winter and spring. I'm really inspired by what the guidebook for this card says. It says that Brigid's eternal flame represents the truth, and the light never leaves us and can never be extinguished. It may simply be obscured or blocked. It says, Brigid is the sweet sound that reaches us in the dark and reminds us that we have never been on this journey alone. She is our sign that the dawn is here because we have made it through the dark winter. We can lift our head. The healing has happened, and now each day is bound to be brighter. So that's beautiful, especially if you're having some challenges dealing with the winter season wherever you may be. If it's not winter season, hopefully this still applies for you. But just to remind us that the light is still out there, help us get through any dark times. For the Silver Witchcraft Tarot, the season or festival of Imbolc and the number 3s, kind of the key phrase that the creator, in this case it's Barbara Moore, she assigns to it as the world awakens. With the Empress showing up here, she's got the eagle and rabbits along with her. And these are signs of abundance, nature, and growth. And you can see the sun is coming in very brightly there. The guidebook for that card says, although the Empress represents abundance, nature, and growth, she honors the wilderness of nature. She also brings the aspect of control with her. She is a ruler with much responsibility. If something grows too wild and becomes out of control, then other things don't have enough. So she keeps an eye on how everything progresses. She, like the eagle, is long-sighted and understands the ebb and flow of life. So hopefully we'll be hearing more about the cycles of life, and she's here to remind us about abundance and growth that is available to us, shining with Brigid's eternal flame there. There's always light within the darkness somewhere. Speaking about balance and harmony and alignment, which goes with the crystals I was called to use with this reading, by controlling things that are about to get out of control so they don't overtake and become dominant in one way or another. So this reading is also about finding the right balance of needs and wants and what we're doing in terms of giving and receiving for the energy that we're putting out into the world and the energy that we're consuming. Each day, my light grows brighter. This is about personal growth as well. Okay, let's see from the minor arcana. These are all the threes, but I don't know which order the suits are going to come out in. I don't know if even shuffling these will be appropriate, but we'll just give them a little, oh my gosh. Okay. All right, we'll do them in this order. So we have the Three of Pentacles, followed by the Three of Swords, followed by the Three of Chalices, and the Three of Wands. Three of Pentacles is traditionally about mastery, material success, and we've got the rabbit coming through here also from the Empress card, tying those two together. We have the Three of Swords, which in the traditional tarot speaks about heartache. I find it interesting here that the sword is sunk into a chalice, which is emotions and our heart. Yeah, so that makes sense. In the traditional tarot, the Three of Swords talks about heartache. This figure here could be collecting something coming out of these abundant flowers, or he could be making an offering. And the Three of Cups, Three of Chalices, celebration and friendship. The card here shows little sprigs of grass and flowers starting to come up, indicating spring is on the way. And then we have the Three of Wands here, looking out at the potential journey or waiting for something to come in. We have the cat here, which speaks about intuition. And we've also got birds flying here, which ties us back to the air element. Higher perspective. We have birds flying in the sky, which ties to the eagle in the Empress card, about seeing things from a higher perspective. And the ocean with waves can often be seen as the emotional sea that we go through, the ebb and flow. Yes, the Empress card said, making our way through the ebbs and flows of life. So that ties well together. A lot of emotion coming in here. In the guidebook for this Three of Pentacles, the keyword phrase is mirror of the universe. And the guidebook says, like the waking of the world at Imbolc, our creativity also awakens. While things may have appeared dormant on the outside, our spirits have been turned inward, processing, reflecting, being fed. Now we're beginning to turn outward, trying our hands at things that have lived only in our hearts and minds. Yes, bringing a vision, a hope, a dream to life. That's beautiful. Coming out of a time of reflection to a time of creativity and bringing our dreams to life. Using the resources that we have at hand and the guidance and support potentially of other mentors, leading to abundance and fertility with the rabbit here in the spring growing. The phrase for this Three of Swords card in the guidebook is pain comes and pain goes. Yes, reminding us of the ebb and flow of life. The guidebook says Imbolc is considered a happy time because winter is beginning to melt away and we see a few signs of new life. Sometimes, though, it is our illusions that begin to melt. Something that we thought was true is revealed as false. So there's a little bit of a warning there to be discerning in what you're experiencing to make sure that it's actually the truth. This blue lace agate tree is all about clear communication, support, and encouragement. The creator is considering this dripping ice water. And it says when the dripping ice water of experiencing something for the first time or seeing something, the truth behind something for the first time can numb us a little bit. But the first plunge of this new truth into our hearts hurts. It pierces us in our core and nothing will ever be the same. So this is about pain comes and pain goes, but recognizing that if you are learning something new that is a little bit disheartening for you, the truth behind the matter, it can hurt. And this is saying to make sure that you acknowledge that so that you can process it properly. This card of pain comes and pain goes is followed by the Three of Chalices. In the guidebook, the phrase is the morning dance. It says faith is paying off as the first signs of spring begin to appear. It speaks about Demeter bringing forth the first flowers of the season to welcome her daughter Persephone back from the underworld. So that's very appropriate. The guidebook says the Three of Chalices describes a situation that includes celebrating for any reason, big or small, but mostly appreciating the presence of people in our lives. As advice, it reminds us to express our happy feelings and enjoy the simple things in life with those we love most. So that is good advice following up the kind of this heartache card and getting through something that stings, that pierces our heart. Remember the simple things in life that we have to be grateful for, and remember those around us that we have that love us and support us. Just like we have this mentor here, the Three of Pentacles also speaks about teamwork, so we're not in this alone. In the guidebook, the Three of Wands, the phrase is birds flying north. With the coming of Imbolc, the world is waking up, and in the north, the lands are beginning to thaw. We're beginning to process some pain we may have been going through, and we're seeing, sorry to use the phrase, the light at the end of the tunnel, but Brigid is the eternal flame, always bringing light. There's always light within the darkness, and the Three of Wands is reminding us of this. The guidebook for this says the fire of life gathers the energy it needs to burst forth from the hard shells of seeds through the heavy earth and the long, hard journey to the outside world. Everything has stayed safe and warm. So we've come through the winter. We've come through the pain. However, the internal metamorphosis takes a lot of energy. Yes, we were talking about this being about personal growth in the beginning, and that takes a lot of energy. And it says even more is needed for the final push into new life. We can feel the tension, the energy quaking and quivering and gathering. Something wonderful is about to happen, but it cannot be rushed. Keywords: optimism, expectation, attraction, law of attraction, prepared, culmination, return of investment, and focus. That's beautiful. If this were reversed, the keywords, I think, tell us what we may have been experiencing with this Three of Swords energy, which is delay, discouragement, missed opportunity, poor judgment, bad decisions, distraction, and dissatisfaction. So this Three of Wands is letting us know that through growth, through this pain that we may have experienced, something wonderful is waiting for us, and that is beautiful. So with that, something wonderful is waiting for us. I think we'll see what this Blessed Be card says, because it is always a blessing based on the oracle. So we have number 22, a blessing on a journey. And she matches the red hair, This looks like Brigid coming through again for us very strongly here. Number 22, the master builder number, capable, resources, skilled. Being capable and skilled and being able to use the resources that are available to us. A blessing on a journey. This person is either waiting for someone to come in or getting ready to embark, and that's something wonderful coming in. We're waiting on some kind of journey. The birds are prevalent there as well within this card, as well as looks like a full moon. Although it's interesting because we have half of the sun shining here, and this looks like half of a moon here, or it could be a setting or rising sun. It could be the dawn, because Brigid is, the goddess of dawn as well, and a rising. She's looking this way in the reading. So if we take that, this person has gone through some pain and is offering something up for a journey to come. So we have learned a lesson somehow in the pain that we've experienced that we can carry forward with us onto a journey that's coming, that's going to be wonderful and is actually a blessing. If you haven't yet reflected on the pain that you felt, either now or in a previous situation, this may be a good time to do that and do the kind of classic lessons learned exercise to see what is helpful and beneficial and positive that you can take forward with that situation into your future. The guidebook for this card, A Blessing on a Journey, says a blessing on the in-between, the liminal space, and the borderlands you will inhabit. So that's perfect for this time between winter and spring, a blessing for this time of in-betweens. It's speaking of the liminal space, which is between the earthly realm and the spirit realm, and that's our fairies coming through. That's the realm that they exist in, going between the two worlds. This also speaks to being open to input from spirit or other people, because it says, for while you may have plans and a map and a compass to guide you, there is much that will surprise and amaze you. So be ready for surprises and to be amazed. Remember, this said a wonderful thing is coming for you. And this Three of Chalices was reminding us to enjoy the simple things in life. Make sure on your journey to take some time to notice the simple things, because those simple things may surprise and amaze you with how much blessing they bring into your life, or the lessons that you can learn from them. This is also talking about somebody who has journeyed away from home and is returning. And it speaks to communication that came through with this blue lace agate tree here, because it says, when it comes time to return home, may there be friends with whom to tell the tales of the road and share the gifts you have returned with. So that's speaking also to this friendship card, which she is looking to. So this is saying that you can share the lessons, because the communication with the blue lace agate, you can share the lessons that you've learned along your journey with other people. Not only are you getting support from friends and family and others in your support network, but you're feeding back into that by sharing with them tales about your journey, tales about your story, lessons learned. There's this beautiful, like, reciprocal giving and taking, giving and receiving energy coming through here. From the Celtic Shaman pack, we have number 13, the Keeper of Letters. Look at that sun shining down, 3 rays, and countless rays going up, but three significant rays coming down for sure. We have the number 13 in traditional tarot is the Death card, which speaks about transformation. Also reduces to 4, which talks about stability, support, and security. Yeah, this is reminding you of a support network that you have, and maybe you've forgotten about it, or maybe it feels like it has gone dormant. But not only is there a light within yourself, but there's a light within your support network that you can draw on. And whether it is because you've withdrawn from that, or because people in your support network have withdrawn from you, remember there's still a flicker of light within that. Within the darkness, there is always some light. So this may be encouraging us to reconnect with something within ourselves that used to bring us joy and happiness and support, or reconnect with people in our lives who do that for us as well. And because it's speaking about giving and receiving, reconnecting with somebody we can help as well. One of these cards specifically mentioned the law of attraction. So that's what you're putting out into the world is what's coming back to you. This is all reminding us of this at the moment. The guidebook for this is telling the tale of Ogma and Ogham, which is creating a system of communication for the Druids. So communication is key for us here. This guidebook is done by, this deck is the Celtic Shaman's book and pack, Guided Journeys to the Underworld by John Matthews, who's very knowledgeable and has a lot of different decks. But in here, he's referring to, I'm not familiar with this, but it says the Book of Ballymote. And there's an Ogham tract in here. I'm going to read this for you. Ogma, a man well skilled in speech and poetry. Oh, and Brigid is also said to be the goddess of poetry, so that's a nice tie-in. So Ogma, a man well skilled in speech and poetry, invented the Ogham, the cause of its invention as a proof of his ingenuity, and that his speech should belong the learned part. The cause of its invention as a proof of his ingenuity, and that his speech should belong the learned apart. The father of Ogham is Ogma. The mother of Ogham is the hand or knife of Ogma. Not sure if that means anything to any of you guys. I'm not going to go... For me, that would be going down a rabbit hole right now because I'm just not familiar with it. But I did want to read it to you. And it's nice that the poetry came through there. Okay, so this is talking about a system of communication, spirit language, voice of the trees, a spirit language for sacred and magical use only. So also it says, their meaning is for you alone, and even though you may not yet know the meaning of the letters, the content of the message will become known to you. So if we don't focus too much on the actual lore there, the message that's coming through certainly is that there's some kind of sign and symbol or something coming into your life. Yes, something wonderful is coming, and the meaning will be known to you. So that's a little cryptic and generic at this point, but it's letting you know to pay attention to your surroundings, pay attention to signs and symbols and synchronicities, because especially in the simple things in life, this isn't some grand epic awakening that's going to happen. I don't think this is something that's in your everyday life, something simple that you're going to find joy from, and there's going to be a significant thing that you learn from it, or that comes to you, kind of an epiphany of thought. Yeah, a spark, an idea being sparked within you, a passion being sparked within you. And it may be coming from something in your everyday life. So this is really asking us to pay attention. And the meaning will be known to you. So some time for reflection is probably warranted as well, to make sure that you're seeing the truth. Yes, because this Three of Swords card also spoke about seeing the truth, thinking something was true, but then finding out it was actually some kind of deceit. So we need to be careful. Spirit's giving us a little bit of a warning here, but it's going to be wonderful, and the true meaning will be known to you. All right, let's see what this final card was that came out of the tarot. To end our reading here, we have the Nine of Pentacles. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, so she has got her finger in front of her lips, mentioning to be quiet, potentially telling us to listen. And her hand is in a way that's almost like pause or wait, or give me a second. That's interesting, coming from the message that we just talked about from the Keeper of the Letters here. And the Nine of Pentacles is traditionally about kind of independent, material stability and success. Sometimes speaks of self-employment. So we had the meaning will be known to you. Potentially you're going to experience something in your everyday life that other people are going to see as one thing, but you're going to see a deeper meaning to it. And this is cautioning you this is cautioning you about the way that you communicate that deeper meaning to other people. Make sure that it's with trusted people who are true members of your support network, not people that would try to take advantage or manipulate or deceive. Especially if you're learning something significant that highlights something that gives you an advantage in a situation. This is Spirit telling us to be mindful of who we're communicating that with and how we're communicating. The Nine in tarot is the Hermit, and the way that this lady is dressed is very much like a hermit. So times of solitude as well. Yes, pause and reflect on what something means to you before communicating it to the world. The guidebook to this adds a nice layer onto this. The key phrase for this is the gentle silence. And it's speaking of the nines being the season of Samhain, which would start November 1st where I am. I had to look that up. I'm not super familiar with this, so please let me know in the comments if I need to be corrected, or if you have more information that would be helpful for other people reading the comments, because I'm not the most knowledgeable about all these seasons and festivals. The guidebook does say it has been a successful time, and indeed abundant fruit is still around, but there is still a little work to do and a little time to do it. However, at Samhain, there is a silence and reverence that we would do well to honor. It is easy to get caught up in the glorious abundance of nature and the wonderful results of our labors. Instead, the veil between the worlds is so thin we are asked to turn to our spiritual allies the energy of the universe and the God and Goddess with gratitude. We are thankful for the gifts of the physical, but we also listen with our hearts for the spiritual gifts that are offered to us at this time. That's beautiful. That's a nice way to remember the cycles of life from this new burst of energy we're getting and we're looking forward to with anticipation from Imbolc to this time of harvest with Samhain, silence and reverence. So this is taking us from the 1st of February to the 1st of November. If you're looking for any indications of timing, the 1st of February to the 1st of November may be significant time for this new journey, this new wonderful thing that you're going to be experiencing. It's not going to be a quick thing because it's not saying the very next day, right? This is saying months from now. So this is going to be a pragmatic process that we're going to be going through, and it's beautiful. So we're starting some kind of journey that's going to be pragmatic, step by step, be a months long journey. February to November, 9 months long journey. Interesting. We have the Empress here in 9-month long journey. Somebody may be expecting a child. If so, congratulations, and I wish you the best. I am going to take one more card from the Earth Wisdom Oracle all right, there it is. Go with the flow, number 20. There you go. That's your message for Imbolc from Brigid. Go with the flow. That's beautiful. I am not sure, but that looks like lavender to me, and that's lavender seeds in my fairy garden there. That's beautiful. Go with the flow. A fertile, lush, flowering garden, a flowing river guided by birds. That ties in really nicely with being on a journey, but not being overly controlling, just enough controlling, because remember we had that control message come through from the Empress about how she will exert control when it's needed. But overall, she's about growth and abundance and natural progression, so to speak. So that goes really nicely with this Go with the Flow card here to finalize the reading. All right, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed this impromptu reading. I certainly have. Thank you, Brigid and the Festival of Imbolc, for coming through. Like I said, I'm not super familiar with all of this, so if you have something additional to add, please let us know in the comments so you can continue the learning and the growing and spreading the messages of light with the community of people that may be reading the comments. Thank you for spending time with me. I'll see you again in a future reading.